A very good morning to all of you listeners. Welcome back to your own channel. And today is the 82nd day of your Godly Blessing. In this Godly Blessing, before we go ahead, we'll have a look at this link above, which takes you directly to Yogasan's flexibility and lets you understand what exactly it means to sleep well and to eat well. Have a look over here. Let's go ahead with today's blessing, in which God tells us about the deeper meaning of how to be detached. Be in a family, stay in a family, but still be detached by going towards godly service, making the whole world as your family instead of just limiting yourself to those 4 members or 6 members or 8 members of your family and being in stress and tension throughout the day about them. And God says, even spoiling a lot of things by being in attachment to all those members of your family. Yes, we do that. We spoil the work rather than improve the work. We'll explore that also in this blessing. Let's see how. Baba says, may you be an embodiment of remembrance. Instead of remembering what the other family members are doing, what's happening in your family, become lighter by remembering God the Father, being in meditation with Him, doing His work. So, embodiment of remembrance of God and a conqueror of attachment. Conquer the attachment. We generally become perfectionist when we are at home. If I know something well, I want it that way. And I'll make sure that everybody around me turns around, changes themselves, or I'll maybe end up forcing them to change themselves. Every soul is individual. Every soul has a different way or method of doing things. But when we want everything to be perfect, when we are pushing things around in the family, the atmosphere of the family becomes bad and people start hiding mistakes, and that's where the relationship also spoils. Haven't you seen that? Haven't you observed that? That your children stop sharing with you because you are too perfect, or you want them to be too perfect, or you're too controlling, or a husband is not sharing their things with the wife, or the wife is not sharing anymore with the husband. Why? Because we are too perfectionist. We want them to be perfect, we're controlling them, and that's where God says your focus towards me has changed to focus towards your family, and that's where all the trouble comes, because we souls are not so powerful and not so pure enough as compared to God to take all the burden of our family and to change everybody and to make everybody work the way they should work. If we try to change other people, we have to look at the negativity in them, what is bad in them and what needs to be changed. God says, I can do that because I don't look at the negativity. I have the power to do that. But if you take on my role, then you become tired at looking at other people's negativity, trying to change them, looking at the negativity, trying to change them, looking at their mistakes, trying to change them. And in that process, you get tired. I never get tired because I don't look at the negativity. So God tells us that focus towards Him, and everything else in the household will become better. Let's explore more. And a conqueror of attachment who transforms your limited responsibilities into unlimited ones. So, limited responsibilities means my home, my family, my children, my husband, my wife, to the whole world is my family, and let God take care of my family. Then, next, in the explanation, Baba says, in order to become a conqueror of attachment, simply transform your form of remembrance. Our form of remembrance is generally what's happening in the home, in the household, what's my child doing, what's my daughter doing, every time trying to change them. Don't do this, do that. Changing, correcting everybody in the house, trying to make everything perfect, and God says you get so tired doing that and you spoil things rather than improving them. We'll explore that in a bit. Baba says there's an attachment when you have the awareness, I am a householder. I am the wife of this house, I'm the husband of this house, or I have the responsibility of this house, I'm the one who's supposed to take care of everything. Baba says, this is my house and these are my relations. That's where God says, my is the problem. Now transform that limited responsibility into an unlimited one. Unlimited means God is everything to me, and with God's help, I'll be able to take care of everything. Not that everything I'm going to change on my own. We do that. It's a very thin line, and we forget when we are doing that. We think that, yes, God is telling me how to do that, but then no. We are taking over the complete reign into our hand. We think that God is trying to help us, but we take over everything. That shows when we are getting irritated or frustrated with somebody, that means we have taken over, not God anymore. If you're getting angry at somebody, you have taken over, not God. When you're getting irritated, frustrated, when you're trying to control somebody's life, when you're trying to change them by force, God is not taking over. You have taken over that household. That's where the problem starts then. So God says, now transform that limited responsibility into an unlimited one. When you fulfill your unlimited responsibility, that means God's work. When we are focused on God and we know that we are not perfect, we got so many negativities within us that we try to change other people with that negativity or the vibration of negativity, that change will never happen in them, because they know our weakness, we know their weakness. It's just throwing back the ball to each other. You are bad, that person will say, you are bad. Who are you to tell me? You are also not so good. I'm not so good. So how can I tell you? All those things, questions, they start jumbling up, and that's where everybody's blaming each other. Everybody's looking at the faults in each other. Everybody's laughing at each other at home. And that's why God says this is a Ravan Rajya, where everybody at home is like a Ravan conniving who's looking at everybody's weakness, laughing at each other. So God says, instead of doing that, look at me. Let them be. They'll improve on their own. They'll make mistakes. They'll come to the right path. They'll come to realization. You cannot make anybody feel or have a realization by forcing them, by pointing fingers at them, by controlling them, by trying to change them by force, by showing that you are perfect and they need to change. You cannot do that, God says. And when you try to do that, you get tired yourself, you get frustrated, you can even get into depression trying hard. So leave it to God. So Baba says, when you fulfill your unlimited responsibility, that is to remember God and not be focused so much on your family that you spoil everything. God says, when you are focused on me, automatically you get values and virtues. You are light-hearted, you are relaxed, you stop seeing negativity in others, you stop complaining, stop changing, stop controlling, and your household becomes, which is the limited household, becomes a part of the unlimited household of God's family. So the limited ones will automatically finish. Responsibilities, the limited ones will automatically finish. You won't be taking the burden anymore. Then Baba says, however, if you forget the unlimited ones, if you forget God and God's, let's say in Brahmakumaris we go for meditation, we go to the center. Right now we're not able to do that, but we are connected to the family. We meditate, we read the spiritual knowledge every day. We are focused on remembering God and not so focused on the whole family and correcting everybody, correcting the child, correcting the husband, correcting the wife, correcting the situation, correcting the maid who comes to your house, correcting the person, the plumber or anybody. You are on to them. Baba says, don't spoil the atmosphere of your house. Focus on me. Let things take natural course. You are not perfect. I am perfect. So don't try to make things perfect in your house by forcing things around, by screaming, by shouting, by trying to overpower yourself onto others, by putting your ideas by force, by any other method. Don't spoil the atmosphere. Don't spoil the complete relationship. And that's where God goes away from the house. Baba says the unlimited ones and just fulfill the limited ones. You are spoiling them even more. If you forget the unlimited ones, God's work, and just fulfill the limited ones you get after your household, you are spoiling them even more. Why? We make people irritated by trying to change them by force, by trying to tell them, don't do this, do that, getting after them, being nagging. And that's why we try to change things, and we rather spoil them. We rather spoil our relationships. Our children don't talk to us. They don't share the mistakes which they have done. That happens. Husband will stop sharing with the wife. Wife will stop sharing with the husband what they have done wrong. And that's where the distance and the difference comes. And when you end up finding that, oh, I wish I had been with God. I wish I had focused on Him more instead of getting after my family, and I've spoiled the relationship. I've distanced everybody around me. God says, don't do that. So Baba says, you are spoiling them even more, because some duties become the illness of attachment. You're so attached. I'm perfect. Only I can make this house run. I know what is the right thing. I have got the right idea. I have got the experience. And God says, in doing that, in that ego and attachment, you spoil everything. So because some duties become the illness of attachment, so transform your remembrance and become a conqueror of attachment. So remembrance of not family things, family issues, remembrance of God. And automatically what will happen? You will become lighter. You won't be nagging. You won't be getting after people. People will be liking you because you are changing. You are in connection with God. And you are more lighter. You are more light-hearted. You are relaxed. You are full of virtues and values. You're not pinpointing the mistakes anymore. And that is what will transform the atmosphere of the house. Think about it. So I leave you with this beautiful Vardhan. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. Stay home. Om Shanti.